Hello, my name is Jankowski, and today we're going to be doing a lesson on how to add and subtract fractions. So, first things first,
I'm the realist.
if you want to see my other videos on fractions, this is like part, 3 of the fraction series. I told you how to divide and multiply and do cross simplifying. All right, so now we're going to be adding and subtracting. So how do you add and subtract a fraction? So let's do an example. So we have 3 over 4 plus 2 over 3. And how do you add them? They're different numbers. So what you have to do is to find a common denominator. So you do that by taking the bottom two numbers, denominators, and then you find the least common denominator. So the one that's the smallest number that have both these as factors. So these don't have any common factors together, so you can multiply them together and get 12. So you take this number and then you take the number that the denominator of one of the numbers, and then how many times do you have to multiply the denominator to get to the least common denominator? And well, you have to multiply 4 3 times to get to 12. So you multiply the numerator by the number of times this goes into here. So 3 times 3 is 9 over 12. And that's your first number. And then you add 2 over 3. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So you multiply it by 4 times. So 2 times 4 is 8. And now you can solve this problem. So 12 and 12, you don't add these. So it's just still 12. So the bottom is always 12. And then the top, you add the top. So these two, when you add them together, you get 17. And you can leave the answer like this, or sometimes you have a mixed number form when you get 1 and 5 over 12. So these answers are both good. Your teacher will probably tell you which one to do on a test or whatever. So yeah, that's adding fractions. Hello, welcome back. I've crossed out addition, so now we're moving on to subtracting. So I've written the steps you need to find the answer. So let's draw an equal sign here. But anyways, so first step is find the least common denominator. So LCD. So we have 4 and 3 again, but these two have no common factor, so you can just multiply them. And you get 12 again, because they're the same numbers. Alright, so the 12 is the least common denominator. So what we know is we just have to find the tops now. So this minus, and then we know it's going to be the bottom. So now we have to convert the fractions. So how many times does 4 go into 12? 3 times. So 3 times 3 is 9. So you bring the 9 right here. And then 9 minus whatever. So how many times does 3 go into 12? 4 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, I cannot draw an 8. So this is an 8. And then add or subtract the numerator. So remember, these two stay the same. So something over 12. And then 9 minus 8 is 1. So 1/12 is your answer. So yeah, we're going to do one last example. Woo-hoo. Hi, I have an example. Okay, so this, we're just going to do it. So you may notice it has 3 instead of 2. So there's 3 terms. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to proceed as normal. So find the least common denominator. So instead of having to find the one for 2, we have to find one for all 3. So in this case, it would be 6, because 6 goes into 6 one time, 6 goes into 3 2 times, and 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So 6 is the common denominator here. So it's going to be something over 6 plus something else over 6 minus something else over 6, and then equals. All right, so now we're going to find the second one. So 6 goes into 6 one time, 5 times 1 is 5. You just leave it like that is. And then 3 goes into 6, well, that's not right, but 3 goes into 6 2 times, so 2 times 2 is 4. So Yeah, and then the last one is 2. So 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 3 times 1 is 3. 3. So now we have these converted fractions. So we're going to add and subtract. Okay, so 5 plus 4 is 9 over 6. And then we're going to write it over here. 3 minus 6. Okay, so now we have this. And then 9 minus 3 is 6 over 6. And you would be done here. But remember, the last step. Reduce or simplify if necessary. I don't know. Reduce or simplify. So this can be reduced. 6 goes into 6 one time. This equals 1 over 1, which equals 1. And that is your answer. Well, there you have it, folks. Adding and subtracting fractions. Goodbye. Ah!